let's get this car on the road, eh? It's brake bleeding time. So the easy bleed's connected, brake shoes are in with the locking pins, the anti-rattle pins and shims, greased up on all the connections, pressure checking all our joints now. Want to just get the car moved a little bit now, but temptation when you're driving it or moving it is to just give it a bit more revs. So if that's going to be happening, you need to have your brakes ready, and we may as well do our brakes. So just keep an eye on the easy bleed. It's up here, still plenty of fluid left, still bleeding through. Top that one up. I think we've done this side, furthest side first. Should do the back first, but the separate reservoirs, it won't matter. We're done there. Lock up the 10, lock up the bleed nipple, and you're good to go that side. That's bled that side. Pull that off, round the other side we go. Bucket for all the waste. This fluid is not from this operation, it was already in here. There's the tyre you use to pressurise it. We need to turn the wheel the other way, or do we? No we don't. We're in. We're easy bleeding. Bleeding radiators. Right, we get that on the bleeding radiators. Oh, right. A 10 on one side and an 11. That's really annoying. So out there in the kits they give us an 11 and a 10 bleed nipple. How annoying. That'll be OCDing me out. That really will. That really will. Come on, let's see this go. Ah, nice one. Nice one, Cyril. Come on, let's go. We'll hear some air at first. Here we go. No leaks on any of the pipe work. No leaks. I can't see anything dripping down with the car. I can't hear anything. What I did before as well, I just let the air go onto it first, because that way if you've got a leak you sometimes hear a hissing sound. If you put the fluid in it's too late and there's fluid everywhere, so that's what I did. I think all the air's gone out of that one. We should have a solid pedal now. That is it, that's all there is to it. I'm hoping the pedal's just going to be instantly solid, because we don't know about that servo. We've no idea the condition of the servo, how much fluid's left. Did we go below the minimum? You gotta be so careful. Can't tell where we are there. You gotta watch the bottle. I'll be right back. Okay, brakes are working good at the front. I've just driven it up and down and it locks on good with a very solid pedal, but for some reason I'm not getting fluid coming out the back bleed nipple. I've tried the lines all the way up to here and it does dribble out, but then it can't make it through the rear cylinder for some reason. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if the air pressure in the tyre is enough to push it all the way through. I seem to remember bleeding a Cortina once and having the same issue. It was very slow delivery, so I might try vacking from this end, or if not I might put an airline on it and blow it through with an airline in case some grease or something's got in the lines and there's a kind of grease blockage, something like that. I don't know. So that's the handbrake works, but we can stop at least. That's a good thing. I can probably do the brakes at the back when it's in the workshop. I just wanted to make sure I could stop and it anchors on good. So that's all worked. Calipers are good there and brake pads are on. So we've got a wing here now. This is a wing I had in stock. It's a second-hand wing, but it was in good order. So I've just brushed it back, washed it down, then I've given it a coat of the Leckler Technigrip. It's a very good paint, this. This is in Ford Primer Brown. We've used it before. But that's called Technigrip LS130. And it's colour matched for Ford Brown. I got it colour matched for the Primer Brown, just because you can. And that goes on pretty quick to dry. It's dry in an hour. So that wing's been thoroughly cleaned and de-rusted. I haven't filmed the de-ruster, but we used our faithful, where is he? Our faithful dinner troll good old faithful. That one in every crevice. There, spray paint liberally. It went in every crevice. There's some rust spots on this wing, but it's solid in all the right places. But what's happened is it's been stored this way, not by me, and water's pooled in this, and this was probably like a newish wing. What's happened, it's pickled itself the way it's been stored, and it was actually in the back of Bramble when I pulled Bramble out. If you look on the early video, you'll see these wings, a pair of them, another one there, and they were in the back of Bramble, and they've collected water whilst they've been in there. That's what's happened here. They are solid in all the right places. Nose cones are good. This area here is good. A couple of pickle holes there, look. I'm not going to worry about those. I'm going to leave them as is. So that's the condition of this one. That's not been touched. That's just been cleaned down and then rust proofed. You can see that this is original Ford primer brown on it. Anyway, I've not painted this as the colour. So you can see it was a new old stock wing. And look, that's where the water's pooled. This one's pickled there, see? Well, I'm not going to start repairing that for what we're doing. It's not worth it. This is the kind of thing you could do. You could take the wings off and get them dipped if the car was getting the full rebuild, but that's going to last because that's stopped in its tracks now, that rust. And we'll Gravitex them as well, and that's not a rot spot that they go normally. It's further in. Well, I can go about that area because the mud collecting, that's probably had a patch of mud in it, to be fair to this, and it stayed there like that, but they've normally gone here first. You can see why. So if you've got a Cortina and you're worried about cleaning, don't be worried about using a jet washer underneath. That's the best thing you can do. Get the jet washer lance in this area. That's the area down. You can't get that as easy, your door open, but here is where you want to be keeping clean. As long as you keep that clean and it doesn't hold the mud in there, it won't rot anything like as quick. It's the mud trapped in it that does it. Same for the nose cone, look. Did you know the nose cone, bit of a double word there, pun. Did you know that the nose cone's welded on? Look, Ford welded those nose cones on because it's such a difficult shape to press in one go. They had to press the nose cones separate, then weld them or braze them in. And indeed, you can see a video, I think it's PAPPA News on YouTube, and it shows them skimming off the braze on the other side in the factory. So nose cones are on. That's why if I get some wings that are scrap at the bottom, I'll chop the front off and save the nose cones. Indeed, down here, if we go down here, you'll see the nose cones that I've saved over the years. This one's gone though, but we'll still keep that. Down here will be some nose cones right at the back of the crazy stores. Krypton machines ready for dipping that never got to the dippers. Right at the back there's some nose cones there. These are all panels which could be used. Everything in here's got a use, that's why it's not been scrapped. I'd like to clear it all out though, really, to be fair. It shouldn't be here. None of this stuff should be here. Anyone want any hose for your overflow on your radiator? Genuine. Right. Yeah, there we go. So brakes are done. And it works, that works. But there is a blockage from that pipe to the back wheel cylinder somewhere along that run. It's not at that junction down there because I've undone it and it pours out. So between there and there, I think there's grease in the tube. We shall see. But they come up all right for an old knackered wing that's been trying to find a use for years. I never wanted to sell them. A lot of people wanted to buy them off me, and I thought, well, no, because they're just so hard to get, these wings, that I thought one day you're going to need them for something. I'd like to convince myself I was never going to need them because I would never be doing another car, but you know, it's paid off. I've kept hold of them and it's paid off. So, and even them original wings off the car, that's savable for somebody. The other wings probably scrap, I'd have thought. I shall ask around, see if anyone wants it. They can have that wing for nothing if they need it. Okay, I shall carry on painting this. Okay, that one in primer brown, that one now in Gravitex. wings are looking good. So that one, once that's dry, that's ready for its tawny brown paint to match under there. This one will be ready for Gravitex soon, and then those wings are done. We can just prepare the wing rail area. That wants some primer on it, some rust killing zinc. Got the zinc here, we've got a little plate to weld. That's ready, just wants the zinc plates to go in. Just the other side's good and already done, just wants the zinc on the other side. Then some mastic down here, I've got it on a roll, just roofers mastic tar, just basically so you can seal the wings from water coming into the engine bay. So you have a strip of tar going down there, or you can use Dum Dum, but it's expensive. Needs to be, or some kind of paste that doesn't set. You couldn't really use seam sealer because that eventually sets, you'd never get the wing off, so it's got to be something you can pry off. So tar's a good one, the Feltin roofers, it's on a roll. I've got that to go on. Yeah, I'll just let this, I'll move this to one side now. That's ready for Gravitex while the gun's out, to use the gun. It's going good. This wing's getting ready to go on, so it's all painted up. Nothing to stop us now getting the mastic on there and get that wing on, so that looks good. Pleased with that result. Let's get on and do the next one there. Okay, radio's on a bit loud, sorry about that. We're going to paint the next wing and let's get both wings on. PC Project PAPPA. That wing is ready to go on. I just had to do a scuttle repair. There was a couple of holes there. That's nicely sealed up and ready to go. We want the zinc on this surface first. It's raining, of course, not heavy, but Bonnet's kept most of it dry. I'm going to have to get the zinc on. 2 rubber bungs to fit in them scuttle ends. We're all right down there. We've got the sealant to go on the wings, and then we can start fitting the wings. I might bring the car inside. That was the whole point of getting the engine done, so we're clear to back out Bramble and get this in if this rain's not going to stop. That's all it ever seems to do. I've got that bolt and washer to take off the clean back and put back on. I didn't take it off for painting, it wasn't worth it. Just wire wheel it back. That little detail on that bolt, and then that's it. I can put this wing on. Nothing to stop it going on, and start assembling the front end up. Reconnect the battery now the welding's done. Yeah, it's ready. That's what I want to do. I want to get the wings on. Another day, another dollar on Project PAPPA. How are we doing? We're not doing bad. But as I said, you can't rely on the weather. We've been lucky, to be fair. Most times I've been working on this, as you've probably seen on the videos, we've been in the sun. It's gone quick. We're now approaching August. I don't even know. I think I started in May. So I think I've been on it. I might have been on it outside for 3 months now. I think I have. That's gone really quick. That's gone really quick. But time just does not, never underestimate time. All them projects that you're looking at, will you be looking at them in a year's time? Are you going to get on and do it, or is it time to start right away? Who knows? Zinc 182 to go on next. You saw it first here on the city, first time in the garage. Wow, a milestone. I noticed it was wobbling all over the place when I was driving it. That's because the wheels are pointing outwards. Tracking's not even been done. We'll get the laser on that, or a string line on the tracking. But this is a big moment, getting it in the garage. That was the whole plan. Can't rely on the weather. So PAPPA rolls into town. Yes, please. And now we can do a bit more work without having to endure that garbage outside. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'll set the tracking a little bit closer later on, but I did want to get this front end sorted out. So let's do that. Why not? We can't work on it in those conditions outside. It's not going to happen. I've noticed there's a leak on the water pump, so I've got 2 leaks, one on the heater matrix and one on the water pump. So the water pump bearing, bushing, even though the pump looks new, I've fitted new ones or old new ones, and that's gone in exactly the same place. There's a bushing in there. For some reason when they're stood still they hate it. I've even had that on Tina G, it stood for a couple of years, cranked it up and it leaked on the water pump. So it seems to be a common thing. But we are here, we've arrived, let's go get the wings. It's not zinc 182, it's zinc 992. Rust killer's gone on, that cures pretty quick. I'll use the heat gun to accelerate that. Then the zinc. Then we've got this, I'll just grab off screen for you. This is the putty which you use for the wings. The wings have got little grooves in the rails, and you put that into the grooves and it squishes out when you bolt them down. Just got enough to do it. Just enough here to do it. You don't need a lot on. The point of it is to stop when the wheels are spinning and it's splashing inside the wing. It's to stop mud and stuff dribbling inside the engine bay. So that's what it's to, basically watertight the outside world, and you use this. You need something that doesn't set, because otherwise you can't get your wing off. So this stuff doesn't set. You couldn't use seam sealer, because if you come to get your wing off you're stuck on. Nothing worse, especially if you're trying to do some last minute gapping. So that's good. And then I'll probably have a play with the electrics as well. I'd like to get the indicators and everything working. That'll be good. And then start doing a bit of electrics. There's some grinding to do in the floor area, driver's side. Some welds that I never took the heads off. Some tar pads to go down. A vac out of the interior. Get all the rubbish out of it, because it's just like a skip at the moment in there. And we can do the bumper as well. That needs doing. There's a bolt to undo on here. I did overpaint inside there, you probably noticed, in the bolt was been overpainted. It doesn't matter because it has a washer when you fit the underriders. We've got some better underriders than this, and I've probably got a better bumper than that. Plenty to do, let's get right on. See you in a sec. Okay, that bolt is off. I had to grind it off. Well, croc sanded it off. The lower bumper underrider, the underrider, sorry. Bolt there, that one. These front underriders haven't shown how it's gone. About to say that and gone. It's going, it's gone. These still in, look at that, rare. To have them still on. Nice. One missing, but I've got one. What's the bumper like? Okay, the sealant strip is on. Down it goes. That's like a putty stuff, as I said. Go along the wing rail. It should really be doubled on the wing rail, but I'm low on the stuff, so I'm just going to go single. Naughty. Yeah, so that's ready to offer up. I'm going to get this wing on now. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. As far as I know, everything's right. Okay, up this way. WillItGo.com. Will it run? First time in 1,000 years, will it run? And other videos. And other videos. I've got nothing to say in videos. I've run out of things to film videos. Fleet update videos. Regurgitating Wikipedia videos. Get some work done. Come on. Right, well, we need fixing bolts for that. Let's have a look what it looks like from here. Yes, a wing goes on, starts up like a car again. Albeit a ratty wing. Well, we know it's a good wing on the inside. You wouldn't think how nice it was on the inside, looking at it there. But with a bit of paint magic, I think we'll be alright. I shall go and get some fixing bolts. You know, want shunting back a little bit, and you're good to go. PC here, wing loosely fitted, as the Happy Mondays would say. And what we're going to do now is, before we even begin to get the wing gap here to the bonnet, I mean, don't forget, this doesn't have to be critical, everybody, because, you know, the car we're doing. But you may as well do it. You may as well do it right, and it's good practice anyway. Why not? Might help you too. First thing, the bonnet's been off, so we need to get it. First, make sure the bonnet release cable system is good, that your cable's good, it's oiled, it's back on, and it's set up. We've done that, so our bonnet release under the dashboard works smooth, the release catch works. So what we do, we get the bonnet to lock on to the pin. There's a central pin there, of course, the plunger pin, with the hinge bolts slightly loose. And I found my pin wasn't lining up. I've just put the bonnet on, of course. So loosen those and then move the bonnet till the pin clicks into its home position. And then what you've got to do, release the bonnet, slowly bring the bonnet up and nip the bolts up a little bit more, try it, make sure you haven't moved it, and get it that way. Only then, when you're happy with the bonnet movement and the gap to the scuttle, on the bonnet to the scuttle, that has to be parallel. Everything else follows that, because of course you can't move the scuttle, but you can move the bonnet and you can move the wing. So the scuttle is king. So we go for the scuttle gap. We go for a nice smooth bonnet action. You want it popping up. If it's slightly skewed, it'll be under a bit of tension and it won't pop up as good. Mine just needs a little bit more of a tweak now. Once we've done that, lock down the bonnet, hinge bolts, then we can do the wings. But to be fair, the wings have dropped on in quite a good position, so it's not bad. I'll just show you what we're going to try and do. It may or may not work this first time round. So, am I happy with that? Yes, I am. It should pop. No, it doesn't pop. So, I've pulled on the lever and it doesn't pop. So, with me getting that gap at the back, we've lost the adjustment on the bonnet. So, we always do it with the grill off, by the way. Then if you get stuck, you can pull the cable. So we'll pull it manually, get it there. So what that is, you just need to go back a bit. And with no bonnet plunger, we need to fit them. So that's right now where it is. So the trick is now to try and get it tight, the bonnet tight, without, when I lift it now, if you've over loosened them, it will try and move. Now we may get it. If we don't, I'll tighten up the bolts a little bit more. I say tighten up, I'll nip them a little bit more. See what happens now, the weight of the bonnet will slide back. The weather is a jug. It's just hit another big load of rain. We're so genius in getting this car out of the weather just in time, because really this is about the worst weather so far from the summer. Right, now that might have slipped. I'm not saying I'm going to get it. That was good. Oh yeah, yeah. Now, will it pull on the bonnet catch? That's the thing. My bonnet catch may need adjusting. It pulls there. Lost it a little bit. But that's probably because the plungers aren't in. To be fair, I think it's because it's not tensioning up here. You should have your bonnet stays in. Your bonnet stays, what am I on about? The bonnet bump stops is what I'm trying to say. We need to fit them next because they create a little bit of upward pressure which helps the bonnet pop. It gives it that, as well as the centre post spring, but it does assist it. Whilst we're looking good, and that's nice, that's very hard to get. In fact, this one, funnily enough, these wings are really good because that is actually, I'm going to say, can you see that there? Come in. Oh, the feet are bouncing on the tripod. Come in. Are you okay there? We're going to have some Eccles cakes in a minute, by the way. Right, because the screen's opposite. Yeah. This here is usually hard to get. That bit. I've struggled in the past. And Mike the Metal used to really obsess over it, and rightly so. And he taught me to alter this depending on the wings. Some wings, this just doesn't have that flat face to continue from the bonnet. This loses it a little bit, but that there is surprisingly good. I can sometimes take hours to get that, and even on some of my cars now it's not perfect. This area here is a known problem on the cars. If you look at photos, go on Google if you want to, and have a little scout around at anything that's close up and just see how many cars get it right there. This is actually, I'm actually hoping that I'm actually going to go for locking the wing there, you know. I haven't really done anything, it's just dropped in. So looking down there, and that is pretty good. I mean, you know, like I said, it's not going to be one of those concourse jobs, but do you know what, if you put paint on this, it'd be a good car. It's getting to that point now where I'm thinking, if you get a good paint job on this, it's actually going to be a good car. I wonder if you could bare metal it. Oh, see you in a sec. Stop recording. I'm very happy with the way the wing is sitting there and fitting, and the bonnet's closing and opening. I found a bump stop pillar. Well, it's Pappa's original bump stop, but it's knackered. It's perished. But we're having a little machine coffee break. I like to have a double espresso. Not too late at night though, not too late in the day. Don't have your coffee last thing at night. It'll affect your REM sleep. Back by popular demand, the Eccles cake is back. Did you know you can heat them up? But I like to dunk mine in a machine coffee. Hell yeah. Oh, go on my phone. Go on my phone. Go on my son. Oh, look at that. Currants, real Lancashire butter. Lancashire made. A real piece of England. A really good piece of Lancashire. Alright, look, Lancashire Eccles cakes. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Aye. Just imagine Fred Dibner dunking one of these side of a big chimney stack in Oldham in the pouring rain after he's had a swift pint in the Crown down a cobbled street with a Mk3 Cortina. Lovely stuff. Well, with the Eccles backwards. With the Eccles cake done, the screws are in there. They lined up with the original holes straight through. No need to re-drill them. All good. Will the other side be as easy as this? This was pretty easy. I've got to do the vertical screws next. Hopefully they'll be in line. I would imagine they will be. Ah, yeah. Bean to cut. 1000 proof caffeine. For that mid-afternoon hit. Yeah. Bring me everybody. What do you mean everybody? Everybody! See you in a sec. Pete C back here. And that wing, it's looking really good. It's bolted on nice. And do you remember, how good's your memory? Early on in the welding videos, we had to repair the lower, my glasses are going to fit one day, I've damaged them. We had to repair the lower A panel coming down where it meets the bottom of the door and the bottom of the sill. If you remember the sill repair, A panel, lower repair, we had to guess it. We guessed right, because the wing meets it fantastically at the bottom. There was about 5mm gap. So all I did was just got a little bottle jack and just jacked the bottom of the wing and slightly brought the wing in. It's good to go. So now we can't put the other wing on, even though as it's sat there now it looks good, because I've run out of rattle can tawny brown metallic. We'll have to wait till Monday to go to the auto stores and get them to mix us a new rattle can. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do the left indicator, the offside indicator, the near side indicator, back and front, and do the side lights, because obviously I can't fit that wing So I'll take you through the fitment of the wing in a minute, but just to let you know, we've got the indicator off. The wire was snapped or corroded, so it's had a heat shrink join. There was no connector at the other end, so I've got one off an old loom. Now you might think, old loom, you'd have to get one off an old indicator. Well, funnily enough, I found this in a loom that's the same plug, so it's actually the same colour wire. Oh well, there you go. So we have that, and the pin itself here, the connecting pin that connects to the base of the bulb. I've got a new bulb because it was a bit darkened than the other bulb. That pin was tarnished, so I've just emery papered it up and the bulb goes in. Now I think they use a rubber, type of rubber for the spring, because it doesn't look springy in there, and I'm thinking it just presses onto the rubber. I'll find out in a sec. There was 2 pieces of paper jamming the bulb in. So Andre, do you remember? Andre's the owner of the car, by the way. I'm in touch with him. Do you remember, Andre, wedging a bulb in your car? If so, let us know. I'm going to put this in, test it on a battery. This bulb's good. I've cleaned the reflector there. I'll also clean the lens. And then what you've got to do, it earths on that bolt at the back. This has got the correct washer. It's a sort of serrated, not serrated, but it's got dimples on the washer which dig in and make the earth onto the wing. We've painted that wing, so we'll have to crock sand the bolt area to clean metal, then put grease on it, then bolt this on. Otherwise it won't be earthing. See you in a sec. I've managed to fix it. It was our good old friend the rubber completely perished. They work on a rubber sprung system. I bring an old one up. See, I had to get another one to compare. So in the base of the bulb, where the bayonet would be, is a piece of rubber that compresses as you push the bulb in. In Goanna, it's obviously destroyed it, so there was no compression on it. So what I did, I had a little rubber grommet kit, and I'm, circular grommet, like, I haven't got one to show you, but cut a slit in it and put that round inside, and that's cushioned it out. So it's like a packing piece of rubber. And now we're just using that dum-dum bead to seal the lamp into the wing. That stops, well, if you don't do this, when you're driving down the road and on a rainy day, water comes out and dribbles down the front of the car. So when you're changing your indicator, you need to put these strips in. This dum-dum strip, you get it from Frost Automotive in these packs, these strip packs. Frost.co.uk are the only people I know that supply it. There will be others. Let me know when you find them. There's a groove on the lamp all the way round for it to fit in. It would normally have a kind of sponge washer. They never work. They're gone in like a year. This makes it a little bit trickier to get out, but it will come out. This stuff doesn't set. It's probably better than the sponge that they used. It's possible that at some point they did use a sealant in the lamps. I think I do recall taking them out of cars and peeling the sealant away. There it is on the back of the lamp now, and that will seal up against the face of the wing. Feed the wire through. I put the grommet was missing on this again, so I put a grommet on it facing the right way so it's the flush side in the engine bay. It's not the correct grommet. They would have a cone on them, but I don't think we're going to worry about that too much. Back of the lamp bracket is now crock sanded. So Crocky was in, here he is, and then it's greased to stop it rusting, but you can't paint it because you've got to get an earth. So we go in there, engage in there, and we'll see the sealant grabbing. Yes, we do. Now the serrated washer, or the spiky washer, often they're missing. That goes cup side facing the concave, facing that way, so it digs in. Putting my hand in now. This is a 10mm fitting. I've WD-40'd it up already. We can use Fur Tan or Bulldog. 10mm, so that should go on easy. 10mm's ready. Draw it in. You can get this quite easily from the with the wheels locked the other way. I'm just seeing how we're looking. There's not much adjustment allowed. There is some. A tip for you: never fit your indicators with the lenses on, and the reason for that is this: you can end up breaking your lenses. Okay, hang on, I'll bring the camera up a bit. I'm slightly cutting my head off the top. That's better, you're more centralised now. Lucky this camera I'm using's got a flip screen and I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, if you have your lenses on when you do this and you tighten it up and it's not in the right, sitting quite right, the lens can crack. Take it from me. Yeah, you're right, I've done it. I've cracked a lens. Not today, years ago. Could have been on Swamp, it could have been on Swamp Ink actually. So that's going in, but we don't know that it's actually right. So where's the lens? This one's a sacrificial one. Not that I want to break anything. So that, does that go in? And what you want to look for is the nose of the wing to the flat face of the nose of the cone going on that. That follows the shape down, and you want to look that it doesn't hit. It's looking all right. Squashing the, I can see it squashing the bead in now. That's nice. That's about right. You don't want to go too much with that. What we want to do is feed this through the bulkhead and get power on the stalk. We don't know that the indicator stalk works. We don't know that we're going to get power, so I'll get the tester kit and we'll make sure we've got 12 volts before we even look at this. I'm just putting the grommet through. There's the wire there. So we need to apply 12 volts directly to the indicator first with a jump lead, because you want to establish first that the actual lamp fitting is working before you go any further down the line. Then, if the indicator lights this up, we'll then go to the back and fit a bulb. But highly likely that the bulbs at the back don't work. They might do, but I doubt it very much. The lenses were broke off this car. It's been stood a long time. This model has this in, the amber. Some are clear with an orange bulb. Some have this in. I have no idea on the dating on that. It's a bit of a mixed history. We've got a year date on this to help us to establish this once and for all. No, not really. I don't know what model, year and why. Some certainly later they were always on, but I've seen 70 cars with these on. You can just have that with an orange bulb or a clear bulb and that. I would say this is safer and a better orange. Some of my cars have it, some don't. But I'm going to connect up. I don't know if you want to stay on or not. I'm trying to keep the footage concise. Here's the indicator. I think I should get the test kit first though. Test kit first and a jump lead. First we're going to just see. I'll do this live. I might duck in front of the screen. Apologies if I do. Let me just strip a piece of wire for you. There's a piece of wire. Straight to the battery, positive terminal, and into this. So fold it. You see, let's bring you in. Let's bring you in. Tripod's very heavy. I've got a weighted tripod. Waving my hand to see if you're in screen. Right, that goes into there. Just a quick test. And we're on. So that's good. So that's worked. We've fixed that. Now we want to go into excuse me, into the right. So the remainder of the plug is stuck inside the receptacle. I took it out. There it is. That was stuck in, so that had broke. That's probably when I disassembled it. It's not down to me. Well, it is, but it's not, is it? You know. And guess what? That's why they're not female connectors, they're male connectors. And I fitted a female connector to the indicator. That won't work. Female to female is a no-go. And I made a great job soldering that as well. So now we need male connector. So it's back to the loom. See you in a sec. Stock had these brass male ends, which are quite handy to keep in, and you can solder into those. You've got to put a bit of heat shrink over it because it'll expose the end in that female plug down there. So I'll do that now, and we're good to go, and we'll go to the next stage. So I'll put a male fitting on the end, which I happen to have in stock. Bit of luck there. See you in a sec. Heat shrinking it on now. There we go. Right, let's go to the next step. Okay, well, as you can see, I just hit the indicator and it's straight on. Curiously flashing at the right speed, even though the back one's not flashing. You would normally get that as a faster flash, but won't worry about that just yet. So that's an indicator at the front. The back is not working, so it's time to go to the back. Basically, it'll just be a bulb or an earth on the cluster. Won't be much. So we're on. That's that indicator. We can fit the lens to it. I'll just dry that lens down and see how it fits. There's no need now to be going inside this. We know it works. We'll go orange now. There go. There go. Oops, other way. There go. There go. And then, which one do we want? Which is the best? That one's chipped. This one's good. What's the inside like? Not too bad. Some isopropyl on that. Hold on. I'll be right back with you. Stay with me, please. Is that okay? You up for that? You up for staying with me? Yes, thank you very much. I've been in charge for a while. Thank you very much. I've been in charge for a while, Sergeant Pyle. No, Private Pyle. Just what is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Private Pyle. A jelly donut. A jelly donut. What's this, Private Pyle? Sir, a jelly donut, sir. A jelly donut. A jelly donut. A jelly donut. A jelly donut. Sir, a jelly donut, sir. Are we putting nice new shiny screws in the front? No. We're not. All part of the patina. Cortina patina. A jelly donut. There we go. There go. Right, that's it. I'll go to the back. See that, but I'm going to call it a day and quit while I'm ahead. It's getting late and I'm starting to get tired. So quit while you're ahead. I promise you to take you around the wing fit. Let's have a look at that. And please can I go and have my tea? Please can I have a few beers? It's Saturday night. I'm staying in. It's Saturday night, but I'm having a few beers. Only 2 or 3 Peronis because it's the weekend. Managed to no drinking in the week. Really good. We'll be back. Matt, get to the chopper. Okay, I'm just on with the front end. The headlights now. I've got some new headlamps. These ones here were gone. All milky and gone. So we got some new ones from car boot with a brand new. Slightly different connection, and the pilot bulb goes at the bottom. That's not a big deal. So just rewired the pilot bulb, fit in there. And the headlamp relays, remember we did the wiring harness for that, so that should all be good to go. That inline fuse to protect everything. So they're mocked up and ready, tested and working. But what is missing from the car is the backing plates. So I've made some, I say backing plates, blanking plates. These fill in the gap. If you had a quad head like JXL or GT, this would have another lamp in it, of course. If it's just this L or XL, you've got a blanking plate. Well, they were missing, so I measured up, cardboard template, and then 2 plates drilled and ready to go. I've rounded the corners off. They just want etch priming now and painting, so I'm going to stick them on the line, etch prime them, and then we'll get on and fit this. So pretty easy, just some sheet steel template, mark out and drill. Got yourself some blanking plates. So I'll go and get these setting now. We'll do a few other jobs while waiting for this paint to dry. Okay, these plates are nearly ready to fit, but before we do, I'm just doing the dashboard lighting. I've fixed the brake lamp switch. Side lights are on there and working. High beam and dip beam works. I just want to show you these. So I'm doing the instrument panel. I'm using normal incandescent bulbs. These are 12 volt, obviously 5 watts for the instrument lamps, but for the illumination I'm using LED because they're running constantly, and that's what they need. Now these are the best. These are the best of the best. These are Philips, and if you want a basically original look, you go for warm white, 4000 Kelvin, extreme Ultinon LED Philips lamps, in this case T10, and they are just the business. That's what I get. And for the back you go, these are really good. These are extreme Ultinon and P21 red intense. They cannot beat them bulbs. Do not get bulbs from Chinatown or unbranded. Go Osram, Philips, or Sylvania maybe, but I recommend these. So just for the general illumination, there's no need to put them in on your instrument panel. Indeed, you could affect your alternator by doing the alternator light, possibly, and it's just not worth doing it on the indicators and stuff. You can also affect your indicator circuit. So these just for general illumination, because it won't draw the current right on the instrument turn. It relies on that bulb as well. So they only go one way in, so you have to have your lights on and just try them one at a time. So I'm doing that now. Got 2 in at the moment, 1 more to go. But I think you'll be able to tell on here how good they are. We're not in the dark and you can see that really nice, but they're not too bright either. It's just a nice warm glow. So they're the ones I'm picking for this. We need an indicator stalk. I've tried to repair the horn, but the operating cable, there's a push cable that goes down, that's snapped halfway down, or in the internals this is gone, and they're basically sealed up. You could do it, you could break the rivets, but it's a difficult job. Anything's possible. I have took these apart in the past and then glued them back together. I'm going to keep my eyes out for a new or second-hand one, because it is a bit stiff and sloppy. Stiff that way, sloppy that way. It's not the best. It's had a lot of use, that, but I could fix it. I'll keep it, won't throw it away. Last bulb to go in, then fit the headlamps. Cigarette sockets fixed. That was gone. The clasp at the back that grips the element. Here's the element. There. Fix a cigarette lighter. You traded it. Traded. Where's the caddy? I traded it. Where's the caddy? That's the element there. And the clasp, there's a clasp, like a grip at the back jaws. One of them was snapped, so I've replaced the whole thing. It's a horrendous job. It took about 2 hours, would you believe? Horrendous job. Let's just see if this pops out. Should do. Can't hear it going. Oh, there you go. Boom. You're good to go. To get to that, you've got to take this out, and then the nut and bolts right at the back. You'd need small hands. I'm afraid I was not given small hands, more like shovels. Small hand person will get a spanner at the back. I had to use an ingenious technique. Look at this. Oh, it's eventually had to do this out of desperation. A magnet held this washer, one of the long range magnets that I've got, you know, magnet on like a selfie stick magnet. Then putted in the nut and washer. It's got a spire washer on it, or an anti-skate washer. Offered it in that way. Take a left turn, bring it back, and then rotate the body of this. Oh, it was hard. That was not pleasant. At least I've got a technique for doing it though. One more bulb to go. Some new switches here because they were gone. They're not new, but they're good second-hand ones. Very good second-hand ones. So the dashboard can go back in. I think it can stay back in. There's the brake light switch just in vision for you. Oh, interior light, we did that. That needed a new unit. It had cracked in half. I've got an original like for like one, quite hard to get hold of. Genuine units. Switches, it needed, both of them had gone, so that's the switch. So we're on there. Hinge pin, I replaced the hinge pin in the end, knocked it out, took the hinge off, knocked it out. I brought the gaps in. This one needed a packing piece on the bottom hinge to bring the door back, so I've done that. So now we get a good door gap this side, good door shut, and then to the wing, let's take you down there. And to the wing, we're pretty nice. And it fits on the bonnet as well. So the gapping is all good. The wings are great. We've done that. So we've done a hell of a lot of good stuff in a very short time. We're doing really well. Let me get this bulb in. We'll get these headlights in. I can mock the grill up then. Go and find the grill for it, because the grill that come with it was a bit butchered. That was my original line to get back where I want it to be, and I got it back there. Once you take a hinge off, you've got to be so careful. Curiously, these don't line up. They were never set right, so the gaps were not set right when them stripes were put on. I'd like to know if Ford put those stripes on or if they were aftermarket stripes. I'm going to hazard a guess they were aftermarket stripes, done by the dealer perhaps, but I don't think it was ever set right. This, I don't think it was ever gapped right, to be fair. Anyway, we digress. Lock these up. Okay, let's try them out. Bonnet down, you can see how nice it is. Sides, ignition on, mains, dip, mains, dip. Just check because I can't see. Although I could have flipped the screen. Yep, you're good to go. You're good to go. Lovely stuff. How about that then? Another milestone. The headlamps are a looser fit in them chrome ring surrounds as part of the unit. I don't know why. They're not an exact depth. So I'll have to clear silicone them into the ring, I think. I think that's the best way to do it. Because you can take the H4s out from the back, it's not going to matter that you can't take them out of the chrome ring, but I don't want them rattling. See the rattling? I don't like that noise. It's going to be a rattler, so we'll have to do that. Other than that, we'll call it a day for this part of the film. I think we'll see you in the next film, I reckon. There's been enough footage here. Catch you next time, Pete C. Thanks for the support. Always, over and out. Updated soon. Nothing like a tree. here in Cortina, folks. We're here. PC from Cortina City video update. Nicely checked into that Hotel Cortina, but Audi have bought the high street. I think things got a bit bad in the recession in Italy, and Cortina went and sold its high street, as you do, to Audi of all people. So pan around and look what we're doing. This is Audi Square, strictly Audis only. So all cars in the village have to be Audi, otherwise you're not allowed in. So what do? We park in Audi Square and wait for the fireworks to go off. We've lit the blue touch paper now. We're just waiting for the fireworks, waiting for the first jobs body to say. But all the people of Cortina want to see the Cortinas, and they're scattered all over town with no one allowed to come and show them down the main highway that we normally would. It's the normal procedure is to go down the parade, to share the cars with the people. Some of them remember them from the launch date in '62. But what have they done? They've taken over, Audi have taken over, and we need to rebel. So this is my guerrilla anti-Audi protest. No to Audi! No to Audi! I got a good one for you. The gate's gone down, folks, and I'm locked in. Pete C's great Audi pincer move. Audi have taken over the town, but Cortinas are fighting back. We are fighting back, folks. The original heritage, 1962, Ford Cortina launch. Audi try and take over, but I propose a partnership. I propose working with these people. Work with them. Work with them rather than against them.